Welcome back to Dancing with Fatherhood, where I talk about my fatherhood experiences unfiltered, no sugarcoating. Today I'm going to talk about something that maybe a lot of people think about, but they're too ashamed to speak about it. But I think about it a lot, so we're going to talk about it. What is that, you ask? The feeling of feeling stuck with the person that you're co-parenting. Now, don't mind me, I'm going to have to multitask a little bit, eating some breakfast, because I got stuff to do today. So anyway, I'm going to record this video real quick. I feel stuck co-parenting because this whole experience is not the way that I wanted it to be. And I think about the values that I was raised with growing up. So for example, my parents are still together, so that's just a value that I know. I wanted to be just like my parents. Obviously, things did not turn out the way that I planned for them to turn out. It kind of makes me feel like I failed somehow. That doesn't feel good. You definitely have a sense of regret, and I definitely have days where I wish I never met that person. That doesn't feel good either, but honestly, I know a lot of people think it too, but then it's like I also feel bad because I think to myself, well, if I never met her, then I would never have my wonderful child. And although Delaney was not planned, she's definitely been the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and I do not regret my child at all. But simultaneously, it's like you do still feel like you regret meeting that person. So it's kind of bittersweet, the feeling, It's, having to coexist with this person that does not care to deal with you. And it frustrates me because I have a lot of friends who are in similar situations, and they were in this situation before me, and when they knew that I was having a child, they would always tell me things like, oh, get ready, man, you about to hate your baby moms, and man, it's about to be a living hell, man, she gonna piss you off all the time. Like, let me have my own experience, because I'm optimistic anyway. I don't want to be hating the mother of my child. It's like, to me, emotionally, that's a headache. I don't want to like you and then hate you and then really like you and really hate you. That's too much. This is somebody that I once loved and cared about. So it's not like just some chick like off the street. Like, it's the mother of my child, That's not somebody that, even if things don't work out, that's not somebody that I ever want to be in a situation where I feel such strong ill feelings to. But honestly, that's kind of what it's become. I've seen this, like I said, many times with other situations. I can't stand it. As it got closer to the end, I guess naturally that's when I really started to see a lot of signs that made me feel insecure as a father, as a potential father, new father, and all that. Some of those things is that she became real quiet. She's not the biggest talker, but still, she generally didn't have, she was able to open up to me emotionally about anything that was concerning her, just the way it should be naturally in a relationship. So that wasn't an issue in the beginning, but it was towards the end. It was that last year. She was always really quiet, and like I said, always on her phone, on social media. That's one thing that I noticed was that increased heavily. And at that time, I didn't even have my Facebook was deactivated, so I wasn't even using Facebook personally. I don't even have Facebook now. I deleted it 3 years ago. I'm burning my toast. So Facebook, always on Facebook, social media, and that to me, it bothered me because that in combination with she was trying to figure out nursing, for example. That was one thing that we used to argue about all the time, because I was just like, just do it. But I'm a guy. What do I know about woman's anatomy and all that stuff, during pregnancy? But I'm just like, she was doing all this research about what could go wrong with nursing, bad latch, and maybe you're not producing milk or something. And I'm like, before you even worry about that, just put the baby on there and just try cavemen didn't have all this other stuff. They just had a baby and a breast, and they just, that's all you got to do to me. But like, what do I know? That was one thing. We used to argue a lot about like what we supposed to do, like as parents, and how we supposed to run things. So we didn't talk much. When we did talk, it was an argument. Well, she went on maternity leave, and she was concerned about money, like not having money to buy things. I'm just like, babe, it's temporary, and plus, like, whatever you want, I'll get it. But she, even though we were in a relationship, she's very independent. She liked to have her own thing. And I'm like, okay. I think she didn't like the idea of us trying to cut back and be wise with our spending just for this temporary period while we try to figure things out. She didn't like that. That's another area where we differ. I don't mind sacrificing and things like that. I'm sure she would argue that she feels the same way too. But back then, us living together temporary at my folks' house, it was just a temporary thing. She did agree to it, which is another reason why I was like, okay, well, we're going to do this. Let's just be happy about it. Let's make the best of it. And then we're out of here. I don't want to be here with you. Like, I want us to go and do our own thing. So let's just do this real quick and let's go. Let's take our time. So that was another reason why I felt maternity leave, and also like she wouldn't cook for me. I might be a baby about that one. Okay, whatever. But oh my God, I think in my head I was just like, I was thinking that we about to be a family, so you're gonna have to be doing this sometime anyway. She's on this whole like forward thinking mindset, less of the traditional values, more of like the forward thinking values. So like, I guess the idea of her having dinner ready for me was just like whatever. The main priority was the baby, But I'm just like, although I'm not in her body, I'm like, you gonna be fine. Like, you got me, I'm there. My mom and my dad and my brother, they were there. Everybody was here to help. Your mom, she's not far away. You have friends here. Like, although this was a sudden thing, like, you gonna be fine. It's like every effort was like futile. It just seemed like she didn't really have any sense of family. That sounds like a bad thing to say, but I'm just saying, like, that's what it felt like. When she's around, like, other people notice it too. Not just like my family, but friends. They're people that, like, when she's around, they can tell that there's something wrong with her, but she'll never say anything. She's definitely the type to hold these things in and just let it build up. And it's like, I don't know how she shares it. I don't know how she gets this stuff out, but like I said, towards the end, she just stopped talking. We went to a therapist, and it's only then when things come out without like telling all her business. It's at that moment when I start to learn things. That's frustrating because I'm like, damn, it's like you feel like you're not even that comfortable, happy place that your girl can open up to you anymore. That's what happened. It kind of makes me think like, damn, what did I do? How did I wrong her? Sometimes I feel like I never even had a chance to make things right, because to this day I still find out new reasons why she didn't like me, or why we didn't work out, why she wanted to break up. And then fast forward to now, obviously she did break up with me, and it's been just over 4 years now, and the energy between us from that day till today, 4 years later, has been the same. It's been the same. It's that it was just way too early. Way too early. The reason why I feel that way is because she might think of all the things that she didn't like about me to make us break up in the first place. And that makes sense. Maybe that's all you have to judge a person off. But like I said, as parents now, the relationship has changed. So we're not going to be necessarily doing the same things that we did. The relationship it will not be able to flow the same way it was because it's a whole different dynamic. You have a child now. We're both now new people.
Okay, so this video is getting a little bit long, so I'll just make it 2 parts. So this is the end of the first part, and the rest will be in another video. But hey, leave a comment about what I said so far, like if anything meant anything to you, or tell me what you think in the comment section.
So I just felt like I wanted that chance.